NFTs are being featured in games across all different blockchains right now. And I did another video recently about games that are built around NFT collections. Today, I'll chat with a game designer who's creating an NFT game that will actually span several different blockchains. And this takes advantage of the interoperability that Cosmos is known for. Owlies is the name of the game. They minted one collection about 2 months ago on the Stargaze blockchain. This is a specialized blockchain for NFTs. It's connected to Cosmos, right? The Atom token. And now there's another mint about to happen. So we'll learn about it. Here is the creator on Twitter. He's Wolfman Knows. Thanks for coming on to share this info about your upcoming mint.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. I'm really grateful to be back and love doing these with you.
That's your second one, right? You're one of the few people that's come back for more.
Number 2, baby. I'm rocking it. I must be doing something right.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's because your time zone is so close to mine. It's easy to coordinate.
That's all it is. Yeah, my NFTs suck.
I'm not going to say anything else. All right, let's go to the mint. There's a lot going on Stargaze, right? You're actually minting on two different blockchains at the same time, which is kind of a feature of Cosmos related NFT projects. Let's just talk about the supply. First of all, let's talk about what is minting, right? They're called OhhNFTs. Why don't you explain a little bit about what's actually minting?
Yeah, let me start off too, just where you were starting off on that note too, about minting on 2 different blockchains and the power of the interoperability. I think that's such a powerful and exciting message that is massive for the entire crypto space as a whole. And Cosmos is really this sleeping giant that's been around building quietly for a very long time. These guys don't go around hyping. They don't have VC money coming into them. They have a community that's strong, built for a long time, that has been supporting this project. And now the fun begins, because people like me, all those toolings have been built with like Juno and DAO and Stargaze, and what they're building on their platforms with minting and staking and lend and borrow, and the same thing with OhhNFTs building that same kind of tooling, and then those being able to interoperate. One thing that's really cool, actually, I was just on the Stargaze Spaces today and got to talk with Shane from Stargaze, and he said that one of the biggest things that they're working on right now with OhhNFTs is creating the IBC bridge between the 2 chains, which is pretty dope in the timing of what we're trying to do between minting on 2 different platforms. Made our lives a little harder doing this, but it's really.
I was going to say, for people that don't know, all of the blockchains that are connected to Cosmos, you're able to transfer assets back and forth between the different chains, and this function is coming to NFTs, and there'll be other blockchains as well linking up. And you might buy NFTs on several different blockchains. You could bring them all into one wallet or sell them on one marketplace. It's really solving. Last year the biggest problem was Ethereum gas fees. Going forward, the biggest problem is probably interoperability. Everything is separate. And this is one way to solve it with NFTs.
Yeah, and that's a big thing, because being stuck on one blockchain when there are so many other benefits and others, that's what's so cool about Owlies, is we get to jump our NFTs onto different blockchains and realize different benefits for our membership, for our members as well, which is a huge perk, because these teams are vetted. They've been here and they are doing nothing but building amazing features, and we get to bring that on to our members. And so I love that, because one of the things they said too is that's like their number 1 focus. So if you mint on like OhhNFTs, you'll be able to bring that over to the Stargaze marketplace, and vice versa. You can take the Stargaze ones that you minted and bring it over to OhhNFTs, and that's an amazing feature to be able to use. But going on to our mint, the goal was to showcase that interoperability. But the OhhNFTs themselves, we call them the watchers, the interchain protectors. And you'll see some of our collection on our Twitter feed, and you'll see how they kind of bring in and bridge all the different pieces and elements from like CosmWasm, IBC, Juno, Osmosis, Stargaze, and all these different Cosmos ecosystems. And it's like a mosh posh, but it's this beautifully curated mosh posh of all the different chains, and to make an entire collection. So there's 8,888. We're doing 2,000 on Omniflix, and then we're doing the rest, the remaining 6,888 on the Stargaze platform.
Okay, and on Omniflix, what's really nice is the only platform that I know of where you could pay for NFTs in multiple currencies, right? So you could pay with Atom tokens, you could pay with Osmo tokens, and also Wawa. I think your NFTs, people will be able to pay with any of those, or does the creator select what the currency is they want to receive?
So I was hoping that they could try to get that feature where we could accept multiple, but that's not something that's set up yet. So right now they'll just be minting in Atom if you mint on the Omniflix platform, and if you mint on Stargaze, it'll be in the stars. But what's really cool too is if you mint on the Omniflix platform, I know they have a surprise coming for early minters, and the Flix token is right on the way. So there's going to be a big boom in people coming in to claim those tokens and use them to buy NFTs. Same way that people did with Stargaze. So I think it's going to be exciting, but they also have a lot of infrastructure that'll be ready for those tokens to be used in different various ways. So I think that's also really cool.
I got a preview of Omniflix before it launched, and they're setting up like a one-stop shop for all things like multimedia. Yeah. It's really cool. So I find it really easy to transfer tokens across blockchains, and that's eventually going to happen for NFTs, which I think is awesome. You'll be able to have, if you like something on one chain, you can move it to another to sell it where maybe a market has more volume. And I think it's smart that you're going to accept Atom tokens, because that's, I think, the most common token for really everyone in the ecosystem, to have Atom tokens. Plus, they're easily accessible on an exchange. So the price is going to be roughly 18 Atom, something like that. Is that about right?
Yeah, 18 Atom, and so it's linked to that, and so they're actually quite a bit cheaper than when they were originally. We pegged that price to it, so everyone's basically getting a whitelist discount with the with the bear market thunder that's raining through all of our, terrorizing our wallets. But speaking of wallets too, I also wanted to bring up what's cool though, like you were saying, the ability to move coins through Cosmos using Kepler Wallet is just like revolutionary. It's a smooth, like butterless, just amazing experience to go. I mean, like I remember I was LPing on Sif chain, right? And then I come and I pull that off and I go to Osmosis, flip some coins there, bring it in. Then I throw it up on, I bought Terra before all this happened, threw that into the Terra Station wallet, brought it over to Thor chain, swapped it out for Bitcoin, and bam, I'm in my Cash App and I'm using my card to buy my dinner that night. I mean, it's just like,
really nice.
It didn't even take that long. It sounds like a lot of steps, but it's literally like 5 minutes of work, and it's so seamless. It's just absolutely amazing. And so what's really cool about, sorry about my dog, the Kepler wallet too, is that Stargaze is integrated as an app. So those of you who don't know how to use the Stargaze platform in general, you can go and use it on their website directly, but you can also download their app in the App Store and use your wallet that way. And if you go to the app tab, you can click on Osmosis to swap your coins. So if you don't have any Atom tokens or Stargaze tokens, you can go and swap your tokens there and then send them accordingly. But once they're in that same wallet, you can swap for stars, go into the app, go to Stargaze, and they just added the new feature to where you have the main page where it's their launch pad, but then they have every other project right next to it that you can click on and see every listing, and we'll be right there tomorrow. So that's one thing that I'm really excited about, is the easy of use that you can do this on your phone. You can mint tomorrow on.
Yeah, that's really cool. I actually haven't even used the mobile app because I like doing everything on a computer, but I've been told that the way that the NFT marketplace works with the Kepler wallet, which is definitely the best wallet that I've ever used by far, and it's only going to get better.
Well, hey, how about this? How about you do tomorrow? You do a live minting of Owlies on your Kepler wallet on your phone, and let everyone see how that process works. Wouldn't that be fun?
That's a good idea. Do you have the time in the mint yet?
I don't. We're finalizing the last few details, but it will be in the afternoon, so it'll be after lunchtime. But just a few last minute things that
might work out, because I think I'll be fishing and I'll be minting NFTs at the same time, so that'll be awesome.
Because you can do it on your phone.
Yeah. Well, all right. So I have one of the original Genesis Owlie NFTs, right? That minted about roughly 2 months ago. Now these are the OhhNFTs. this is not a series one, series two. They're different, right? They have different purposes. Um, can you maybe just roughly get into the differences for people that maybe minted the original Stargaze Genesis Owlie and are thinking about minting this one?
Absolutely. So the Genesis First Quest Alloys was the beginning of the bootstrapping. They're also the very first playable character NFTs that'll be a part of the trading card game. That'll be upgradable through staking your NFTs to earn Stardust to mint Stardust NFTs, which then you get like, you know how you have like your hats, you have your shirt item, you have your feet item, you have all those things. Those all have built-in stats like and different like HP XP things that will level up your Owlie from its base stats into that. And so you'll burn all of that, and then you'll have your final Owlie, which you'll take into the metaverse PvP matches that we'll be building on top of Passage. So yeah, those are all of those benefits of getting early in on having a playable card, but at the same time, we're airdropping our Owlies tokens to the GFPs. As well as the OhhNFTs, and we're doing a good majority of our token drop to our holders who have supported us and are a part of our ecosystem. And you'll be able to stake those Owlies and earn branch tokens, which are the key to minting the egg packs later down the road when we have our main launch. So you'll use those branch NFTs like the walking stick and combine them with the eggs to mint those beautiful babies you see on the screen right now.
Yep.
And there are 12 different characters in that collection, in the main collection. And when we launch our website tomorrow, you'll be able to see that full collection for yourself on all the different characters that are there. The rest will be, you'll have to wait to mint and go up before you can see the other, like the teen and the other side. But what's really cool too is that by staking these Genesis First Press Owlies, they're like our early membership as part of the platform, and so they have the highest staking rewards for staking for for Stardust, right? So that's one of the really exciting things too, is they're rewarded the most, and that's a precious token because with Stardust and Branch, they're not airdropped, they're not fair dropped, they're not sold to VCs. There's no funding. It's literally the only way these things are brought into creation is if you stake and earn them. And so that is a huge value because that means no one's coming in and dumping on anyone. Everyone's just going to be staking and building the supply from there. There's no initial large sum that the team or anyone else is holding that can come dump these tokens on you. So even if like Owlies, you're maybe not a fan of the Owlies token as a whole because there's a lot of supply and it may have a lot of volatility in the beginning, you're going to have those branch tokens when you stake, and nobody can come in and dump on those, especially early on, because everybody's going to be building that amount. And then the whole thing that's cool about that is even branch tokens and the Stardust tokens burn when you use them. So they burn into those other NFTs. And there's a whole ecosystem of trading those NFTs as well. There'll be a whole subculture of trading the Stardust NFTs and the branch NFTs. So when you do that, it dilutes that supply and then creates demand in both areas. So it really is a healthy ecosystem for that. But yeah, and then there's some other rewards. Like if you check out our Twitter, we have a really cool image that breaks down like all the different benefits that the Genesis First Press Owlies have. And of course, one of them is for the whitelist that's happening tomorrow. So you got a whitelist that's a discounted, it's only 15 atom instead of 18 atom. The snapshot has happened, so anyone watching this will have missed out on that. But we didn't really believe in whitelists in the beginning because there's no really necessary in that aspect. And so we didn't even want to offer them. So we didn't do that for the Genesis First Press. But for this minting, we wanted to reward the people who were with us. And same thing when the OhhNFT guys come into the play and people mint those, they'll have a whitelist for the next future events that we do as well.
Got it. I just want to make everything clear for anyone that's watching and haven't read up on this. You have a really nice Medium article that I'll link in the description that goes over the tokens. But as part of this whole, whatever you want, gaming NFT DeFi ecosystem here, you have 3 different fungible tokens, like 3 different coins, let's say, right? Owlies, Branch, and Stardust. Owlies is going to be the staking. I think when I read your Medium article, I said, okay, Owlies is the token you get for staking. You need that for the other tokens. The Branch token is used for burning and upgrading, right? And then the Stardust token is going to be basically like equivalent to what you would use in other games to buy items for your character. Is that about right?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got this all off the Medium article, by the way. And the I know when you first wrote it, I did read your hoot paper. I'll link that in the description for sure. As far as the mint tomorrow, I will show I'll show what the art looks like, but you want to give little hints about rarity, any metadata features that people that are collectors that go hunting for stuff might find interesting.
I will say there are some key cool backend features that you're going to see in the metadata. Things like wisdom are in there, and that's all I really want to say about that. We'll let everyone discover that on their own. Highly recommend the most amazing tool ever for Stargaze. And I'm sure this will hopefully go to other platforms, but right now it's on Stargaze, Hubble Tools. Hubble Tools is one of the best tools you can use if you are an NFT advanced gem hunter. It gives you all the breakdowns, all the rarities, and it even links to the actual page where you can go and buy. So they have a live stream too. As people list it, it literally lists it live, and people are sniping left and right. I've had my fair share of just, I'm doing it in the background. I have that feed up and immediately try to grab something when it comes through. But it is an amazing tool to be able to utilize if you're on that aspect of it. So you'll be able to see all of those issues, because you won't be able to see any of that until the mint completes. You won't be able to see how rare it is, but you can see what it has as far as features go and things like that.
How fast did your Genesis supplies sell out?
A little over 3 hours.
3 hours. All right. And I
Yeah.
would imagine NFTs are actually picking up now that the Stargaze marketplace opened. I was surprised at how many people just went right in to take advantage of this. The secondary market's been, I would say, like white hot since it's released. Was it last week?
Mm-hmm.
I think that if people don't want to have to deal with the secondary market, they'll have to get online when this is minting. And you know, um, yes, there are more on Stargaze, but Stargaze might have more users than OhhNFTs. It might be a race to see how fast one sells out over the other. Is that why you broke it up that way?
Yeah. Well, one of the things too is that the whitelist is for both platforms. So if you got a whitelist, you actually have one whitelist ticket for each platform, and you get to mint one on each platform. So there's literally just a little over 1,000 that are not whitelisted that are up for grabs on the OhhNFTs. So I assume they're going to sell out pretty quickly on that platform. So both are going to be kind of a hard grab. Well, and I'll go over. So the OhhNFT Club too it's actually a DAO where we have an art vault built into it. So we're building a large collection of valuable NFTs, anywhere from modern art to gaming NFTs to digital real estate NFTs, even music NFTs down as that becomes more popular in the Cosmos ecosystem. We're mainly focusing on Stargaze as we're building this vault as well. But what's going to be really special about that is like one of the things we're going to be adding is like Strange Clan and Andromeda-verse and others. And some of these NFTs have a very high barrier of entry to be able to come and get an NFT and be able to play the game. Like Strange Clan has a low entry. It's like $500 up to well over $5,000 for some of their NFTs. And so it makes it really hard for some people to come in. But if you mint one of these OhhNFTs, it's like $170 at the current rate, might even be a little less at this point. That gains you access to everything we build out, and you'll be able to loan those out as a member and be able to go play those games as we build those out. So that's kind of the other thing too, is it's a NFT that gains you access to the Owlieverse, but it gains access to the broader metaverse as well, because we're building out all of these things. And we're really going to have a big focus on collecting gaming NFTs, because that utility is already there and the value is already there for members to be able to come in and not just be able to play Owlies, but also be able to play other amazing games that are built in these ecosystems, especially as Passage like continues to onboard more projects and issue NFTs. We're going to definitely be a part of that and grabbing those. And I mean, we're going to have a large collection of all of those too, so that people can participate in those ecosystems, which makes the whole thing overarching and a bigger project as a whole, because you'll be able to participate in many ecosystems by participating in just one.
Got it. You mentioned that you're setting up a DAO, right? The
Yep.
DAO, I'm guessing that's going to be on Juno. Is that right?
No, we were actually just talking with the Stargaze team, and they are looking to start a DAO, the ability to have DAOs, and a lot of really amazing tooling. And they're looking at bringing in how they can bring in the DAO tooling into their ecosystem. And since this is where that is built, there's a good chance we may do our DAO on there, just because this is like eco-centric and it's going to be tied in directly pretty heavily with OhhNFTs too. And so it's a really beautiful, robust area where we can build this out. Also, OhhNFTs will have DAOs too. So we'll have to kind of pick and choose like which direction we decide to go for our DAO. But yeah, it's going to be really cool.
And the members of your DAO, what's the token? It's going to be the OhhNFT that that is used as the DAO token. Is that right?
Right. Yeah, we'll have that, and then we'll have a fractionalized version of that in the O token that'll be dropped to the holders of the O collection.
Wait, you're going to fractionize the OhhNFTs.
Not the OhhNFTs, the artwork in the OhhNFT collection itself. So it's kind of breaking that up, and yeah.
So you're going to have, you did say this earlier before we started recording, there'll be a vault.
Yes.
The DAO will have some say on what goes in the vault. Then you're going to be able to break that up and have a fractionized NFT representing, let's say 1% or 0.1% of that collection.
Well, it'll be like a tradable token. So it may be a CW20 token or something like that. That'll be the O token itself. And that'll be a clear representation of the vault itself, whereas the OhhNFT holders will have part of that fractionalization, but also the other overarching areas that are not just a part of that, the gateway to the Owlieverse and everything else.
So that doesn't have to be an NFT, right? The
right.
Fractionalized NFT will be, some kind of coin, and each one will have equal value. Just the more that you have, the more percent, let's say,
right,
have to the
and
vault.
OhhNFTs will have a very large stake in the voting power of that, but then they'll also be dropped the O token. So if they hold onto those and stake them, and so also staking an OhhNFT with your tokens, right? That'll also give you a higher position in the governance.
All right. When I think games, I always think they're going to take a long time, and I got to be patient, right? I have to wait. There'll be developments, there'll be things that just were planned that can't happen, and there'll be changes that maybe the community wants that have to get implemented. What do you see coming in the next, I don't know, this is pretty soon for a game, right? Let's say 3 months to 6 months. Like what should community members look forward to in that time horizon?
So in the short term, like the 3-month term, we'll be working obviously on the back end of building out the entire Owlieverse, right? So finalizing like all the stats and all the back end things for the metadata, right? Building that part of it out, as well as continuing to work on the artwork, because the artwork is hand drawn by one artist alone for the entire collection, right? And it's a lot. And so we're still building that. He's building a lot of the work of the mock-ups and everything of what the imagery and everything will be like outside of just the NFTs itself too. So because of that, it does take a little bit of time to get that collection ready to go for mint. And so while all that's being prepared to get to that point where there's the burn mint features and everything for the NFTs to be able to stake your Stardust and then take that and mint the Stardust NFTs and then burn those to more valuable Stardust NFTs, right? Because it starts at common and goes all the way to legendary, so you can mint them up. So it creates a whole ecosystem that you can trade in the marketplace as well.
Right. Let me just interrupt, because most people are used to minting something. They get what they get, whatever the rarity is. You get common, you get rare, super rare, whatever you want to call it. You're stuck with that. You have to now go in secondary market, and maybe sell yours for cheap and buy a more rare one for way more expensive. Your system allows people to basically level up what they've already got. Just to be
exactly
clear.
We're kind of flipping the NFT space on its head. We're reinventing the entire way of doing things, because like I said, I came kind of from the real world side of collecting. We talked about this in the first video, right? And that affinity for that, so people can go watch that if they want to hear more about it. But just that I think we want to onboard as many people as possible, right? So like from common to legendary, there's 5 tiers. The common and the uncommon will have the most. There'll be thousands of eggs, right? The gold, there'll be a few thousand of those eggs. And so they'll mint down. And as you burn them, right? So if you go from 1 egg to the baby, to the teen, to the adult, and then we just released it in that article, if you didn't notice, there's a wizard. There's a wizard. He's pretty amazing looking. And I'm excited about that stage too. So if you get all the way to the wizard stage, that means all those other NFTs are burned to get to that point, right? That means there are none left in the entire ecosystem. So you'll want to save some of those behind, right? So really, in the end, even with something like 500,000 supply in the common side of things, in the end, we'll only have a few thousand supply of each one. But then you're going to take those Stardust NFTs, your different items, and you get to mint that into the final full body version. Because right now it just looks like a head PFP, right? And in the end, it'll actually be, if you look at our Twitter page too, you'll see some of these images. And it's on the website when that launches too. But it's actually a full bodied version of the Owlie. And so you'll be able to see you're minted therein. So you customize your end playable NFT for your collection. And you're going to want many fighters too. So that's the other reason to having such a different, vast way of doing all of this, is because you're going to need many different ones to play. You need about a 40 card deck to be able to play the game in the first place. So that's like that is, I would say, the 6 months deliverable is the full game of swapping, trading, and minting them into your NFT. But some of that will come out in stages over the next 3 months to 6 months. You'll be able to do some of those features like staking and earning and minting the Stardust NFTs. That'll come first. Then it'll be like between that 3 and 6 month mark. That's when you'll be able to actually burn the NFTs and level them up. So that part will come after. And then during that time, that's when we'll also be building out the OhhNFT.com side of things, and where we'll be onboarding real world artists and minting collections with them through the OhhNFT onto places like Stargaze. But we'll have the OhhNFT community will be the community for the artists that we onboard. So they get to come in, they already have like everything there for them. All they've got to do is come to us with some amazing artwork that we curate with them, and we bring it to the community.
So this is really well thought out, right? You have your current community is going to have things to look forward to in the 3 to 6 month time window, which I think is pretty soon. Impatient people might not think so, but for a game, they'll be able to do
realistically,
stuff in a couple months. And then you have plans to bring in a lot more people without using airdrops, right? To bring people who want to, get into this community as your DAO is getting underway, your Owliverse is getting built out, and you're gonna, you have a really good plan to keep the community going, which is nice. You mentioned one more thing I want to clarify for this video, because some people did get airdrops of the egg that you mentioned, right? That's the same egg you're talking about.
Yes, there's egg packs, and that comes later. But then there was
so there people that minted the first set, the first collection, got airdropped an egg. Can you just go through what is that egg? What's the significance of that in the big picture here?
Yeah, absolutely. So the egg itself is a golden ticket to minting, taking any egg from a pack. So when the packs come out, the monster boxes and the packs of eggs, and the packs contain 10 eggs, and they'll be something like $10 to $20. So they'll be really affordable to get a lot of them, get them going, and then collecting them. And so you'll take those and you'll choose, like, let's say you get a golden egg. All right, you'll need 2 golden eggs to mint a baby, and you'll also need the walking stick NFTs. So you'll need to collect five walking stick NFTs, combine it with those 2 golden eggs, and then you'll have to. There's also Owlies is powers the trades, so you have to pay a fee in Owlies token as well. All of that to get to that point to mint the baby. You get to bypass all of that with a GFP egg, right? The Genesis First Press eggs, and you get to take just the gold egg and the GFP, combine them, and make them into baby. And since there's 12 characters, you can choose whatever egg you want to mint, right? So if there's one that's more rare, one that has certain powers that you really like, it pays to wait and hold on to these eggs. These eggs are something you want to hold on to, because also think about this: 6 months, a year down the road, all the eggs are almost completely minted and burned, right? They're destroyed. There's almost nothing left. There might be a handful of golden eggs, but taking 2 of them and burning them is very expensive. But getting 1 of them and combining it with your GFP egg is perfection. So that's one of the huge benefits. It's a long-term free pass that if people are strategic with it and they don't waste it right away, will have extreme value for them later on down the road, being able to handpick what they want, as well as because there is Chapter 2, which is our cyberpunk Owlies who live in the inner cities. And when that collection comes, you'll be able to take their eggs and use that GFP on that too. So you can save it for a long time. You can trade it, swap it, whatever you want to do.
I consider myself kind of like a hoarder, so I think I'm going to save these. I ended up, I just checked right now while you were talking, and I do have a gold egg, so that's good.
Yes. Yeah, they're all gold
Oh,
because they're like a golden ticket.
all right,
Yeah.
because they were the part of that Genesis kind of perk there. But
Yes,
anyway,
exactly. Yeah.
um, anything that you mentioned, I'm going to make sure there's links in the description. The Medium article I think is important to read. The Discord link just to get in and talk to people that are able to answer lots of questions. When the website comes, I'll put that in the description. And when your minting info is available, I'll have that. Well, everyone will have that on Twitter. So people will know where to go and how to mint. And I don't know, I think you should be pretty happy with the way things are going so far. You were able to get a lot of your stuff done, it seems, in a short amount of time, considering that the Genesis mint was not that long ago, and everything's new, right? Stargaze is new, OhhNFTs is new, and you already seem to be rolling with a full head of steam here.
That's one of the things that I love about this space is, you know, the way my mind works. It works at lightning speed, and the space can match it. But also at the same time, just like my company that I built, Hemp360, it's been 15 years. Started out came into the space, knew absolutely nothing about skincare, most competitive industry in the world. Silly me getting into that, right? But 15 years later, I deep dive, I dig, and I innovate, and I learn, and I grow. And so you'll see that with Owlies. As I'm in this space, I will be continually growing, and so will my team members be growing with me, and we'll be continually innovating and flipping everything on its head again. And what's cool is we've got an amazing platforms that we're partnering with, right, to launch these on, that are also doing the same kind of amazing innovation, that we get to utilize those tools, and I get to figure out how to use them. They invent them, and I tie them all together and make them awesome.
Well, I mean, everything sounds great. I'll mint tomorrow. I think you knew that already. So,
I
and
hope so.
I don't mint that many things, but certain things I just feel like I have to mint rather than wait till it comes out on the secondary. I'll mint. I'm already a holder of the Genesis Owlies, so I'll keep up with my collection here. So,
Are you part of the Baby Copper clan? The Baby Copper clan.
am I part of the?
That's what we call it in our Discord. Is the Baby Coppers? They're the lowest tier on there, and so there's a lot more of them than everything else.
Yes, that's what I have. Yep,
yeah.
yep. But
that
I did mint number 100 though, so that's cool.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool, man.
It's the second time I did that in the last couple months. I have 2 other collections. I have number 1, and then 2 collections I have number 100. So it's pretty. I'll take that as like a intangible value to my NFT, only to myself though.
Absolutely. Well, and even then, like, it's just so early for the Genesis First Press Owlies, and the serious benefit that they present to people once they really see them. Like, those copper babies are amazing.
Well, appreciate you giving this info, man. It's nice to catch up. And like I said, I'll mint tomorrow. I'm definitely going to be bothering you on Twitter when I get what I get. And hey, is this good? Is this rare? Is this hard to get?
Definitely.
Well, take it easy, man. I know tomorrow will be hectic for you, or today. This video will come out the day.
Oh man, yeah.
I know some creators, they stay up all night and watch the mint go. Hopefully you don't have to do that, but yep. Good luck with the mint, and we'll catch up when you have the next series of developments.
Absolutely, man. Thank you again for having me on, and I look forward to chatting with you after. Take care.
You got it.